All right, coming up next, we'll tell you about the violence hitting other cities. Looters smashed storefronts on Telegraph Avenue, and in San Francisco, Mayor Frank Jordan has imposed a curfew. CNN's Greg Lefebvre has details on the situation there.
Everybody declare this to be an unlawful assembly.
Like the anti-war protests of a year ago, this rapidly descended into roving bands of rioters and looters. Perhaps taking a cue from the uninhibited looting seen in Los Angeles, about 200 to 500 demonstrators marched and smashed their way across San Francisco's elite Nob Hill into the city's posh retail district, Union Square.
I just got beat up by about 15 black guys who stole my camera.
What'd they take? Anything and everything. Cleaned it out from A to Z.
Hey, go home!
The day opened with angry but peaceful demonstrations at campuses around the Bay Area. Then some of the demonstrators who rallied at UC Berkeley marched several miles onto the Oakland Bay Bridge, snarling traffic. They were arrested and the bridge reopened. At nightfall, looters broke windows and took merchandise along Berkeley's retail street, Telegraph Avenue. The San Francisco march started in the city's mostly minority Mission district, spilled into San Francisco's main commercial district, and then blew up into violence, destruction, and arrests.
I didn't do anything. I was just running.
Looters broke into a locked Macy's store and took clothing, shoes, and jackets. Others took jewelry, cameras, and electronic items from the many stores that cater to tourists and out-of-town shoppers. San Francisco called in all off-duty officers, extended shifts of those on duty, and called for mutual aid from 3 neighboring counties. For tolerance of free speech and expression, it was clear that demonstrators virtually had the roam of the streets. But then around sunset, the demonstrators quit, and police say the rioters took over. Greg Lefebvre, CNN, San Francisco.
Downtown Atlanta is quiet at this hour, but it remains under a curfew after a day of violence related to the Rodney King verdict. Promoting violence in Los Angeles and other news when CNN Overnight continues.
And just really a flurry of activity that seems to be absent right now. And maybe that does bode well for what the chief of police and the mayor and the governor discussed earlier, namely that perhaps the curfew is having some kind of a positive effect. It just does seem a little bit quieter, and again, my colleagues seem to be echoing that sentiment from around the city. Mike and Bree.
Harvey, of course, we know there was the one officer involved shooting a bit earlier tonight. We saw footage of the man who was shot. Have you heard of any other shootings involving officers?
No, in fact, that was the only one that I heard of. And there's a lot of circular discussions going on here that they rob stores where they get more weapons, which allow them to rob more stores.
Activity, actually, most of the fires seem to be smoldering and nothing really burning that heavily. So things are definitely calming down as time goes by tonight.
Well, let's just drink in this picture of relative serenity and peacefulness, at least from your vantage point. It certainly is a contrast to the antithesis of what we saw last night, Mike. That's our feeling. How about yours?
Oh, that's definitely the case, Paul. Last night, things were really going crazy, and then it seemed like it, as I watched TV earlier when I was resting, today it was, things were really picking up and getting much worse. And it seems like as we get later in the evenings, things are calming down, and this is by far the most quiet.
Welcome, welcome news. It sure looks good. Do you see any areas of black from where you are right now? We may not be in the right spot in town to notice if there's any power outages, but you notice anything from here?
Yes, and there are several areas of power outage. Right now, we're just over Capitol Records now, and to our south, I could spot at least 3 areas that have 4 or 5 square block area that have power outages.
Television. How about these scenes of relative peace and calm, Dr. Butterworth? Is that having, what kind of effect is that having on our viewers right now?
It's just what the doctor ordered. I mean, this is the best thing we could see. It's giving people hope. They're getting us.
And that is the ongoing coverage of KABC in Los Angeles. And that last shot, the one you're looking at now, A shot of Los Angeles that is not burning. What a difference from 24 hours ago. But that is the scene now.
You're breaking up a little bit. Can you give us the location?
This is excuse me, Bree. This is Willow Street in Long Beach. We're not exactly sure of the cross.
And now we've lost you.
We've lost that shot.
Okay.
Obviously, Long Beach has taken its share of problems tonight, and this is just the latest. I'm told now it's back. It's on Willow Street in Long Beach. Do you know what kind of building that is, Gary?
It appears to be a large variety store, perhaps a furniture store, something of that nature. And as you can see, characters...
That is photographer Gary Johnson, who you see talking with anchors Michael Tuck and Bree Walker at KCBS TV in Los Angeles, where it is now coming up on 1 a.m.
And we'll be back with more. This is CBS News, up to the minute. That wraps up this half hour of CBS News Up to the Minute. We're keeping a close eye on the Los Angeles situation. Stay tuned to the CBS television station to keep you posted throughout the day.
We're glad you're with us. This is CBS News Up to the Minute.
And hello from New York, I'm Lisa McCree.
And I'm Aaron Brown. And in the news at this hour, the rage over the Rodney King verdict that filled South Central Los Angeles is spreading now to other parts of that city, to other parts of the country. It is the dominant story. The death toll now in Los Angeles is at least 24. Curfews remain in effect in Los Angeles and in San Francisco and in Atlanta and in Las Vegas.